Stop wasting money on boring bikes. Right now, the used market is full of motorcycles that are dirt cheap, bulletproof, and completely ignored by almost everyone. Today we're exposing 16 forgotten that are reliable, comfortable, and affordable. Number 16. The Honda Pacific Coast. We're starting small, but we're starting cool. You probably think all small cruiser bikes are, well, kind of lame. Single-cylinder, thumping little toys that sound like lawnmowers. But meet the exception to the rule. The Honda Pacific Coast. This is the Tupperware touring bike. Honda designed it specifically for car drivers who wanted to try motorcycling. The entire bike is enclosed in plastic bodywork. The engine is hidden. The trunk is literally a car trunk integrated into the bike. Under all that plastic sits a 798 cubic centimeter V-twin engine. It is liquid-cooled and shaft-driven, producing 57 horsepower. But the real party trick is that massive, watertight trunk that opens up like the back of a Civic. It is incredibly reliable because it's a low-stress Honda V-twin with hydraulic valve adjusters, which means no valve jobs, and shaft drive, which means no chain maintenance. The engine is encased in plastic, so it never gets dirty or wet. These bikes regularly go 100,000 miles with zero issues. Nobody bought it because it looks like a scooter on steroids. Bikers in the 90s hated it because the engine was hidden. They called it an appliance, but their loss is your gain. You can find a riding PC 800 for $2,500. It is simply the cheapest, most reliable, most weatherproof touring bike ever made. But if this is too small, what about something that looks like it came straight out of the 1970s, but was built in 2019? Number 15, the Suzuki TU250X. This is the hipster bike that actual hipsters forgot to buy. The Suzuki TU250X. This bike is absolutely gorgeous. It looks like a classic British single from 1975 with its round headlight, wire wheels, sweeping exhaust, and big chrome fenders. It is pure class. But underneath that vintage aesthetic lies a modern Suzuki heart. It's powered by a 249 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine that produces 16 horsepower. But here's the kicker. It has electronic fuel injection. That's right. It looks old, but it starts instantly every single time, no matter the weather. The reliability comes from the fact that the engine is based on the Suzuki GN2, which is essentially the cockroach of the motorcycle world. It is simple, understressed, and fuel injected. You just change the oil and ride. It is essentially impossible to kill. Nobody buys it because it wasn't fast and it wasn't a sport bike. It was just a nice bike. Suzuki imported them sporadically, and people ignored them for the faster Ninja 300. You can snag these beauties for $2,500. And unlike the Ninja, this bike will actually appreciate in value because it's so timeless and elegant. We're just getting started. If you're enjoying the ride, join our tribe of motorcycle lovers by subscribing and liking this video. But maybe you want to go off-road, but you don't want a tall, scary dirt bike. You want something weird, something with fat tires. Number 14, the Suzuki VanVan 200. This is the most fun you can have at 20 miles per hour. The Suzuki VanVan 200. Just look at it. It's ridiculous in the best way possible. It has a giant balloon rear tire. It has a seat that is wide enough to be a sofa. It looks like a beach buggy turned into a motorcycle. It screams fun. Powering this oddity is a 199 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine taken straight from the DR200. It puts out 16 horsepower and weighs in at 282 pounds. It's reliable because it uses that legendary DR200 engine, the same one used by MSF courses and farm bikes all over the world. It is agricultural. It is tough. It is fuel-injected on the VanVan models. It will start every time, whether you're on the street or buried in sand. Nobody buys it because it's weird. And let's be honest, it's slow. Top speed is maybe 65 downhill with a tailwind. Serious riders dismissed it as a toy. But because it's so niche, You can find them for $3,000. And let me tell you, you will get more miles per gallon on this weird little fat tire bike than on a $20,000 𝐏𝐄𝐑. But maybe you need to go further. You want to tour, but you're on a budget, and you want something unique. Number 13, the Yamaha V Star 250. We've mentioned this legend before, but it has to be on this list. It is the definition of unloved but brilliant, the Yamaha V Star 250. This bike has been in production since 2008. Why is it unique? Because it is a real V-twin. Most small cruisers use a single cylinder or a parallel twin engine, which just doesn't give you that classic cruiser feel. Not Yamaha. They built a legitimate, air-cooled, 60-degree V-twin engine specifically for this tiny bike. Underneath that classic styling sits a 249 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin engine that pumps out a very respectable 21 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque. And the best part is the weight, or lack thereof. This machine tips the scales at a featherlight 324 pounds, making it incredibly manageable for anyone. It's reliable because it's a Yamaha. The engine is unstressed, simple, and air-cooled. It has been in production for 30 years, meaning any kinks were worked out when Clinton was president. Plus, it gets 78 miles per gallon, so it will run forever on pocket change. The reason nobody buys it is simply because it's a 250 cruiser. People think they'll outgrow it in a week. They're wrong. It's a legitimate, highway-capable, barely, but it does it, V-twin motorcycle. And the price? You can find these all day long for $2,000, sometimes $1,500. It is the cheapest way to get a real V-twin rumble between your legs without breaking the bank. But let's get back to something classic. What if you want a real kickstart motorcycle? Number 12, the Yamaha SR400. This is not a retro bike. This is just an old bike that Yamaha kept building until 2018. The Yamaha SR400. This bike is hardcore. It has no electric starter. You have to kick it, like a man or woman from 1978. It has a compression release lever and a sight glass to find top dead center. It is a ritual every time you want to ride. It features a 399 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine making 23 horsepower. And here's the weird part. It has fuel injection, but it still has a Kickstarter. It's a bizarre mix of old and new technology. It is reliable because it's a big, under-stress single that has been in production since 1978. Yamaha perfected it decades ago. There is essentially nothing to break. Nobody buys it because of the Kickstarter. People are lazy. They want a button. The SR400 sat on dealer floors for years because new riders were terrified of stalling it in traffic. You can find these for $3,500. And you're getting a bike that is genuinely cool, genuinely authentic, and will teach you how to really start a motorcycle. But maybe you want that authentic vibe, but you want it from Italy, and you want it to be easy. Number 11, the Moto Guzzi 7 Stone. Wait, a cheap Italian bike? Yes, the Moto Guzzi 7 Stone. This is the Italian Sportster. It is pure, unadulterated character. The engine rocks side to side when you rev it, giving it a heartbeat that few other bikes possess. It makes a beautiful, throaty noise that sounds like a classic Italian opera singer gargling gravel. It looks like $1 million sitting at the cafe, drawing admiring glances from people who don't even know what it is. It is powered by a 744 cubic centimeter transverse V-twin engine. That's right, the cylinders stick out the sides into the breeze. It makes 50 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much, but it's all about the torque. And it has shaft drive. Do you know how rare that is on a bike this size? It means zero chain adjustments, zero messy chain lube. Just ride. Guzzi engines are basically tractor motors. They are air-cooled, pushrod V-twins. They're simple. They are robust. The valves are easy to adjust because the heads are right there in front of your knees. The shaft drive is bulletproof. It is surprisingly reliable for an Italian machine. So why does nobody buy it? Fear. People are scared of Italian reliability. They assume it's a high-strung Ducati that will explode if you look at it wrong. It's not. It's a simple, agricultural machine built to last. Also, the dealer network is sparse, which scares people off. Because of that fear, the resale value tanks. You can find a nice V72 or V73 for $4,000. That is an absolute steal for this much Italian style, character, and genuine history. It's the coolest bike you can buy for the money. But what if you want an adventure bike? That isn't a giant heavy beast. What if you want a mini ADV? Number 10, the Kawasaki Versys-X 300. This bike is a genius machine that got ignored because of its engine size. The Kawasaki Versys-X 300. It looks like a big adventure bike. It has spoke wheels with a 19-inch front. It has a windscreen, it has luggage racks, but it has the heart of a ninja. It uses a 296 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine taken straight from the Ninja 300. It makes 39 horsepower and weighs 385 pounds. And get this, it has a red line of 12,000 RPM. It is reliable because the Ninja 300 engine is unkillable. It loves to be revved. You can hold it at 10,000 RPM all day long on the highway, and it won't care one bit. Nobody bought it because adventure guys thought 300cc was too small, and ninja guys thought it was too ugly. It fell into a weird middle ground. You can pick these up for $3,500. Throw some 50/50 tires on it, and you have a lightweight adventure bike that can cruise at 80 miles per hour and handle single-track trails with ease. But maybe you want a bike that does everything. A bike that defies categorization. A bike that is a scrambler, a cruiser. Number 9, the Yamaha SCR950. This bike was a sales flop, and that makes it a used market hero. The Yamaha SCR950. Yamaha took their super successful Bolt cruiser and tried to turn it into a scrambler. They gave it a flat bench seat. They gave it number plates. They gave it wider bars. It looks cool. It looks like a dirt bike from the 70s. It runs a 942 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin engine producing 51 horsepower and 59 pound-feet of torque. And it uses a belt drive. It is reliable because it's a Yamaha Bolt engine. It's air-cooled, belt-driven, and low stress. It requires almost zero maintenance. It's a hammer. Nobody buys it because it's weird to ride. The foot pegs are in a weird spot that tends to hit your shins when you put your feet down. It's heavy for a scrambler. It's essentially a cruiser playing dress-up. Dealers couldn't give these away. They sat on showroom floors gathering dust. But that failure is your opportunity. You can find low-mileage examples for $4,000. If you want a reliable V-twin city bike that looks unique, has zero chain maintenance, and will turn heads wherever you go, this is it. It's the misunderstood genius of the Yamaha lineup. But what if you want a cruiser that handles like a sport bike and fits anyone? Number 8, the Kawasaki Vulcan S. This isn't your grandpa's cruiser. In fact, it barely fits the definition of a cruiser at all. This is the Kawasaki Vulcan S. Forget the lazy, low-revving V-twins that have dominated this category for decades. Kawasaki threw the rulebook out the window. They took the heart of a sport bike, the lively, liquid-cooled, parallel twin engine from the Ninja 650, and dropped it into a cruiser chassis. That engine is a 649 cubic centimeter parallel twin that puts out a spirited 60 horsepower. It revs high, it pulls hard, and it gives this bike a personality that is completely different from anything else in the class. It's eager, it's exciting, it wants to go. But the real genius of the Vulcan S isn't just the engine, it's the ErgoFit system. Kawasaki realized that riders come in all shapes and sizes, so they made the bike adjustable. You can move the foot pegs, swap the seat, and change the handlebars to perfectly fit your body type, whether you're 5'0" or 6'4". It is customization right from the factory. It is reliable because that Ninja 650 engine is basically bulletproof. It has been in production since 2006, powering everything from sport bikes to adventure tours. It is a proven, solid motor that asks for nothing but basic maintenance. So why does nobody buy it? It falls into a weird gap. Cruiser purists hate it because it's a parallel twin that sounds more like a lawnmower than a Harley. Sport bike guys hate it because it's a cruiser. It gets ignored by both camps. But that means you can find these for $4,000. For that price, you get the fastest, best handling, most adjustable starter cruiser on the market. It's a sport bike in disguise, and it is an absolute blast to ride. But what if you want something really weird? Something futuristic? Something automatic? Number 7. The Honda CTX 700N. This bike looks like it's from a sci-fi movie made in 2014. The Honda CTX 700N. It's a low, long, naked cruiser. But with the engine from a Honda Fit, basically, it's literally half a car engine. It uses a 670 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine making 51 horsepower. And here's the kicker. It is available with DCT dual clutch transmission. That means it's automatic. You don't have to shift. You don't have a clutch lever. You just twist and go. It is reliable because this engine was designed for extreme fuel economy and longevity. It has a ridiculously low redline of 6,500 RPM. It is unstressed. It's built like a tank engine. It gets 65 miles per gallon without even trying. Nobody buys it because, let's be honest, it's weird looking. It looks like Judge Dredd's commuter bike. It has a low redline. It hits the limiter constantly if you try to ride it like a sport bike. It's considered boring by enthusiasts. But here's why you should care. You can get one for $3,500. If you want a reliable, bulletproof commuter that gets incredible gas mileage and you don't even have to shift in traffic, this is the bargain of the century. It's the ultimate urban assault vehicle on a budget. But let's go back to BMW. BMW makes the GS, but they also made a city bike that was bizarre. Number 6. The BMW F650CS Scarver. The Scarver. What does that even mean? Street carver? Who knows? This is the BMW F650CS. This bike is weird, but weird in a brilliant Bavarian way. It has a single-sided swing arm, which looks amazing, and makes rear wheel removal a breeze. It has a belt drive. That means zero chain lube, zero chain adjustments, and a silent, smooth ride. But the weirdest part, the gas tank is under the seat. So where the gas tank usually is, there is a hole, a literal hole in the bike. BMW called it a stuff bay. You could clip a custom backpack into it, you could install a stereo, you could even put your helmet in there, sort of. It was modular storage before modular storage was cool. It runs a 652 cubic centimeter Rotax single-cylinder engine making 50 horsepower. It weighs a manageable 418 pounds. It is reliable because it uses the legendary Rotax single, the exact same engine found in the F650 GS Dual Sport that crossed continents. It is bulletproof. The belt drive means you can forget about chain maintenance entirely. So why does nobody buy it? Look at it. It is strange. The front end looks like a fish. The hole in the tank freaked people out. It was too futuristic for 2002. But today, it's a bargain. You can find these for $2,005. It is the cheapest way to get a BMW badge, fuel injection, and belt drive. And because of that low center of gravity, thanks to the underseat fuel tank, it handles amazingly well. It's a canyon carver disguised as a commuter. But maybe you want a British bike, but you want the modern one that everyone forgot. Number 5, the Triumph Street Twin, early models. When Triumph dropped the new liquid-cooled Bonneville line in 2016, the world lost its mind over the big boys, the Tone 20 and the Thruxton R. The Street Twin? It was labeled the entry-level bike, the beginner bike, and that was a mistake. People walk right past it. They overlook it. But let me tell you, The Street Twin is not just the baby Bonneville, it is the hidden gem of the entire lineup. Let's talk about that heart. It packs a 900 cubic centimeter high-torque parallel twin engine. Now on paper, it makes 55 horsepower. And the internet warriors laughed. Only 55? My lawnmower has more. Wrong. They missed the second number. This thing puts down a hefty 59 pound-feet of torque, and it does it way down low. It pulls like a freight train from a stoplight. It isn't about top speed, it's about the grunt. It has a 270-degree firing order that makes it sound and feel like a proper rumbling British hot rod. And reliability? Forget the oil-leaking triumphs of the 70s. This is a modern, liquid-cooled masterpiece. The service intervals are 10,000 miles. Do you know how much money that saves you? It is built to a standard that makes other bikes feel like cheap toys. The fit, the finish, the paint. It is premium. Nobody buys it because they are obsessed with peak horsepower numbers on a spec sheet. Spec sheet racers dismissed it. But you ride torque, you don't ride horsepower. You can find these early models all day long for $5,000. For that money, you aren't just getting an engine. You are getting traction control. You are getting ABS. You are getting a torque assist clutch. And you are getting that beautiful, soul-stirring Triumph sound. It is the classiest bargain on two wheels. But what if you want an adventure bike that is simple and rugged and cheap? Number 4, the Royal Enfield Himalayan 411. This bike changed the world. It proved you don't need 150 horsepower to go on an adventure. This is the Royal Enfield Himalayan 411. It's not a sport bike, it's not a touring bike, it is a tractor. It is built with one singular purpose, to cross the Himalayas. At its heart is the LS410 engine, a simple, robust, 411 cubic centimeter, air-cooled single cylinder. It makes 24 horsepower and 23 pound-feet of torque. Now I know what you're thinking. 24 horsepower? My blender has more power. But you're missing the point. This bike isn't about speed, it's about grunt. It's about climbing up a mountain trail at 3,000 RPM without stalling. It is reliable because it is incredibly simple. It is a long-stroke, low-compression, air-cooled engine. It is understressed. It's made of metal, not plastic. If it breaks in the middle of nowhere, you can probably fix it with a hammer and a wrench. Well, people do buy it, but then they sell it. Why? Because it's slow on the highway. It tops out at 75 miles per hour, and it's screaming to do it. Riders buy it for the adventure dream, but then realize they have to ride on the freeway to get there. But here's the good news for you. With a new, high-tech, liquid-cooled Himalayan 450 coming out, the prices on the original 411 are crashing. You can find these rugged machines for $3,000. For that price, you get the best slow adventure bike on earth. A bike that encourages you to take the back roads, to explore the dirt, and to enjoy the journey rather than rushing to the destination. All right, stop what you are doing. We have arrived. The top 3. These aren't just good deals. These are criminal steals. We have left the quirky stuff behind. We are now looking at the absolute best value for your money on planet Earth. You think you know what's coming? You have no idea. Buckle up. It gets wild from here. But before we go into our top 3, tell us, which one is your favorite? And did or do you own one of these bikes? Number 3, the Suzuki SFE 650 Gladius. I know, the Gladius, the bike with a weird name. The Suzuki SFV 650. This was Suzuki's attempt to make the SV 650 modern. They wanted to refresh the iconic SV, so they gave it a trellis frame. They gave it curvaceous, flowing styling that was a departure from the sharp lines of the past. They even gave it purple wheels on some models. It was a bold move, but underneath that polarizing skin, it has a 645 cubic centimeter V-twin engine. This is the legendary SV engine. It makes 72 horsepower. It is arguably the most reliable motorcycle engine ever made. It's bulletproof, it's fun, it sounds amazing. So why does nobody buy it? because of the styling. It was too rounded, too soft. People wanted the aggressive, sharp lines of the original SV. The name Gladius didn't help either. It sounded like a Roman sword, but the bike looked friendly. But here's the secret. Because it's the ugly duckling of the SV family, it is cheap. You can find these for $3,000. For that price, you get one of the best engines in motorcycling history. And with a few mods, swap the headlight, paint the frame black, you have a serious weapon on your hands. It's the ultimate sleeper. But what if you want a Honda that is basically a naked sport bike, but nobody noticed? Number 2, the Honda CB500F. The Honda CB500F. Everyone seems to buy the CBR 500R, the sport bike, or the CB500X, the adventure bike. But the F, the naked bike, gets completely ignored. And that is a tragedy. This bike is the definition of a sleeper. It uses the same 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine as its siblings, making a very healthy 47 horsepower. But here's the best part. It gets 70 miles per gallon. You fill it up and you forget about it. It's like a camel. It is reliable because it's a Honda 500. This engine is the benchmark for modern reliability. It is over-engineered, under-stressed, and built to last forever. You change the oil, you lube the chain, and it just works. So why does nobody buy it? Because it's just plain. It doesn't have the flashy fairings of the R or the adventure height of the X. It's just a motorcycle, it's honest, it's simple. And in a world of look-at-me bikes, it gets lost in the noise. But that makes it a bargain for you. You can find these for $3,500. It is the perfect commuter. It's fun, it's light, it handles great, and it costs pennies to run. It is arguably the best first big bike on the market. And finally, the number 1 bike. The bike that is unique, reliable, cheap, and honestly, kinda cool now. Number 1, the Buell Blast. Before you laugh, I've got something to say about the Buell Blast. This was Harley-Davidson's attempt to make a starter bike. They basically took a Sportster 1200 engine, chopped the rear cylinder off, and put it in a plastic chassis. It uses a 492 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine. It makes 34 horsepower. It has a 5-speed transmission and a belt drive that is self-tensioning. Now, why is it on this list? The engine is essentially half a Sportster. It has hydraulic lifters, which means no valve adjustments ever. It has a belt drive, which means no chain maintenance. It is made of plastic, so the body panels don't dent or rust. It is a crushable motorcycle. If you drop it, it bounces. Nobody buys it because for years, it was the joke of the industry. Buell even famously crushed one into a cube in an advertisement to show they were moving on to bigger and better things. It was the ugly duckling. But here's the punchline. You can find a Buell Blast for $1,500, sometimes even $1,000. For that money, you get a bike that is fully highway capable. It has 0 chain maintenance, 0 valve maintenance, and it is weirdly fun to ride. It vibrates like a paint shaker at idle. It thumps along the road, and it handles surprisingly well because it weighs nothing. It is the ultimate I don't care motorcycle. It's cheap, it's weird, and it refuses to die. And in a world of overpriced, overcomplicated machines, that makes it cool. Click on the next video for more motorcycle adventures. And did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.